There was a man named Pike, and some people questioned Pike, but he was apparently a 33rd degree Mason, and he wrote a book outlining the beliefs of the Masons, and some pretty horrible stuff in there. They are teaching, as I understand it, that the devil is God, and that the Jehovah of the Old Testament is Satan. I mean, there's some bad stuff in there, and it's all very secret when you get higher up the ladder. And they had something in the time of the French Revolution called illuminated Masonic belief, and those people were the so-called Illuminati, and it was clearly anti-Christian in its point of view. As a matter of fact, some of the Illuminati teachings led to the horrors of the Russian Revolution and the French Revolution. So it's impossible, in my opinion, that you can be a practicing up-the-line Mason and still be a born-again, spirit-filled Christian, which is what your question was. All right.
The things which would help our viewers, I think, and myself, is just tell us what Freemasonry is all about.
There are two distinct aspects to Freemasonry. One is the public image that they portray, and one is the private image that they don't like people to know about. Secret side, yeah. The Freemasons go out of their way to try and recruit people now by showing what good works they do, how much money they spend on charities. The Shriners, who are a sect of Freemasonry, are specialised in children's hospitals and children's medicine, and each lodge will have a particular function and a particular charity that they always take care of. The origins are based on a mythical structure, on a mythical history and mythical legends that they have constructed about the construction of Solomon's Temple.
Lots of people hear stories about Freemasons, and it's not really, cannot always be verified. That's the thing. So I have to say that this is, as far as our audience is concerned, it's somewhat hearsay.
Yeah, it's very difficult to put your finger on, and it's very. If you said to me, "Well, what is the influence of Freemasonry now?" and give me an example, it's very difficult to reach out and touch it. But once you know how their mind works and how their rituals work, you begin to see evidence of it everywhere. In architecture, in symbols. For example, the black and white symbol. You see, say in Westminster Abbey, the floor is black and white. That is the basic symbol of equality between Lucifer and Jesus that they use. It was the battle of the Templars, the battle of Masonie flag of the Templars, and it's omnipresent. You see it on the UK police forces, on the checkered cap band is black and white. You see it in ambulances. And once you start to see these things, they're everywhere. It goes back to Egyptian sun god worship. The Freemasons say that you must have a belief in a supreme being in order to get in, and they'll open the Bible, but they will have the dividers and set square on top of it. So in fact you're taking those to Lucifer, because that is the symbol that they use for Lucifer, although they won't say it.
Anything here, just as a closer, that you'd like to share that was quite profound for our audience?
All I can say is that I pray that being on the program will open the eyes of some people, and that some people who are wavering, might have had second thoughts about it, please do entertain a second thought, because Freemasonry is demonic, there is no doubt about it. They will kick and scream and say, no way, we're a charitable organisation. They're not. They are of Satan. And if you are a Christian, you cannot be a Mason.
Lucifer, what is your problem?
Just that, sir.
Okay.
I'm a Christian, sir.
I'm pure and virtuous and wholesome and innocent. How can you say anything about me?
Sir, you need to be born again.
I am born again.
Now, did you just say that you were Lucifer?
I am Lucifer.
Okay, define Lucifer for me.
Pure, virtuous, wholesome, innocent individual that's out to help people.
Lucifer is?
Yeah.
Say that again. Lucifer is a pure, holy...
Virtuous.
Virtuous. Now, is he the Lucifer that God created?
That's the same one.
Oh, man, this is great. I'm going to put this on the internet.
Oh,
Amen.
God bless you,
Amen.
brother.
Because that's exactly what the Shriners and Masons teach, is that Lucifer is light.
No.
And you're
what about
confirming
those hospitals?
You know what, sir? Jesus said, many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, we did not do these good deeds in your name. And you'll say, away from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you.
Jesus said it?
In Matthew chapter 5.
Mercy.
No.
That's hard to believe.
So you're a Christian and you don't know that. Actually,
no, I really am.
You are.
Because I'm pure and virtuous.
You're pure and virtuous, okay, yeah. In other words, you're perfect without Jesus, right?
No.
Okay, tell me about Jesus. Who is Jesus?
Well, he's my leader.
Is he the Son of God?
Yes, he is.
Is he the only worshipful master?
Yes.
Have you ever been called worshipful master?
No, because I've just been too busy. I've been working.
Working.
Been working to help people.
What
like
kind
you.
of work? Okay.
Get out of here.
See, this is what a Mason confesses, is that Lucifer is light. You heard it?
Regardless of whether the Apollo moon landing was faked or not, an interesting photograph hangs on the wall of the Sanctuary of the Scottish Rite Masons in Washington, D.C. This photograph shows astronaut Neil Armstrong holding a Masonic apron over his spacesuit. The photograph has seemingly been taken on the moon, or at least on a studio set which resembles the surface of the moon. Neil Armstrong has become a mysterious character since his alleged moon expedition. According to the records of the Ohio Grand Lodge of Masons, Neil Armstrong's father is a Freemason. In fact, Neil Armstrong Sr. is a high-ranking 33rd degree Freemason. Neil Armstrong's co-pilot, the second man to have allegedly walked on the moon, was Buzz Aldrin. At the time of the Apollo 11 mission, Buzz Aldrin was a 32-degree Freemason. They were in good company, as many of NASA's astronauts were also Freemasons, including Gordon Cooper, Walter Schirra, John Glenn, Edgar Mitchell, Thomas Stafford, and Paul Weitz. These men were all members of the Brotherhood, all sworn to keep secrets on pain of death. These astronaut Masons were under the leadership of Kenneth Klangnecht, who was NASA's Apollo space program manager. According to an article and photograph published in the Masonic magazine Scottish Rite Journal, upon his return from the moon, Brother Buzz Aldrin presented a flag to Sovereign Grand Commander Smith, who was the Supreme Commander of the Supreme Council of 33rd degree Masons of the world. The flag Buzz Aldrin presented had been taken to the moon on Apollo 11. According to a Masonic lecture delivered at Beauverde University in 1994 by American Masonic historians, astronauts Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong performed a Masonic ritual exactly 33 minutes after touchdown on the lunar surface. They temporarily planted the international flag of Scottish Rite Freemasonry, which features a large double-headed eagle. Therefore, the eagle has landed.
Override off. Engine arm off. 13 is in. We copy you down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. And we're getting a picture on the TV.
The short Masonic ritual Armstrong and Aldrin allegedly performed declared the celestial body of the moon to be the property of the Masonic God. Who is the Masonic God? As confirmed by former Supreme Commander of the 33rd degree and Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, Albert Pike, the Masonic God is Lucifer. The name of NASA's space program, Apollo, according to the Holy Bible, is actually an alternative word for the devil. We can see this in the Bible as the word Apollyon. Apollyon appears as the name of Satan in the original texts of the New Testament Gospels. Like Christopher Columbus and many explorers before them, Armstrong and Aldrin used a flag to claim territory for their monarch. Upon their return, NASA Space Program Manager Kenneth Kleinecht invited the Apollo crew to a secret Masonic ceremony which saw Kleinecht's brother be appointed to the Sovereign Grand Commander and titular head of all Scottish Rite Masons throughout the world. Once you learn the occult significance of words such as Apollo, Columbia, and Atlantis, you will realize that the occultically inspired murdering Nazis who developed NASA's space program have used names which are part of ritual, magic, and the occult.